My name is Dan Murphy, and I'm the Executive Director of Slingshot Ventures. Slingshot Ventures is an experiment that Dave and I came up with.
So Slingshot Ventures started with realizing that Slingshots, one of our biggest goals is to make impact the tech we build. We work a lot on the product design side and validating products, making sure they're a good fit. We study the market, we do a lot of research, we'll do testing with actual users in the market, and then we evolve the product over several years with the goal of getting product market fit.
I think the genesis was how could we give back to a community that's been so good to us? So the idea is that there are people here in the region that have good ideas, and what if we marry up our expertise with their expertise and see if we can't bring some businesses to life? We were approached by an individual who was an industry expert asking us to help shape a product that they saw or they felt would provide a huge lift to their industry. And at that same time, Dave and I were coming up with different ways that we could leverage our expertise to bring value to others, if you will. We got introduced to the high alpha model up in Indy. And so the question was, could we build something like that at Louisville? I was actually a little hesitant, thinking that maybe we needed to validate some other aspects of the idea first. And Dave, his comments were, let's just go ahead and do it. If it fails, just think about how much we'll learn.
We partner with founders and bring our expertise in technology and building products. And the way we do that is we assist them with the tech side of a business. And we typically try to find founders that have expertise in an industry, really know that industry well, see a problem, but don't have the technical expertise. We act as an equity partner. We provide technology services, and then we partner with them as equity partners and help them grow the business.
We come alongside them to validate the idea by validating the market, validating the approach to solving the problem, and then we get into discussing business models and if it can make money. That's our approach, and I think it's worked because we know that we're engaging with people who aren't software developers. I think that probably the most important milestone specific to our area, we have two companies that were vote award winners. They received a non-diluting grant from the Louisville Community Foundation. But I think the bigger achievements is launching 3 companies and having 2 of them in profitability. We've been at this experiment for 5 years. We've got a proven model. It's kind of wild to think, this company started off a school project in college. All the different roles that I've played over the last, 16 years being engaged with Slingshot. And so I feel very fortunate to have been here for as long as I have, to be able to grow individually, but also within the company and have these adventures to try new things. I think there's something to be said about working with people who really care about what they're doing and have a passion for what they're doing. Not a passion in working for Slingshot, but a passion in writing code, designing products, because it forces me to make sure that I'm performing at a high level, but then I also don't have to worry about someone else not doing their job. And I think when you are surrounded by that level of expertise, there's really no ceiling for what we can do. And so that has been fun to be a part of.
20 years of business, it really represents, another evolution for us, another step. Slingshot Ventures allows us to do that in a very impactful way, working very early on with startups. We've always said we want to be more than just a tech company, more than a company that builds cool stuff. The stuff we build has to have an impact. So 20 years in business, Slingshot Ventures just represents us continuing to drive impact and return on investment for our clients and our partners.
I've had a great opportunity to grow professionally. I was hired on in 2009 to grow the business and was the 5th employee and grew us to over 20. Stepped out for a little bit, was still working at a different capacity so I could have my own adventure, my own experience, and then coming back to be able to craft something that I've never crafted before, working with Dave, working with other team members who've helped kind of shape that, the gratitude that I have for this opportunity. I don't think I could put into words, just because it's allowed me to get to places that I never thought I would get to. I feel very fortunate, man, very grateful that I'm surrounded by the people that I'm surrounded with, and I get to work with the people that I get to work with, and I've got a partner in Dave to continue to grow with as we explore new ideas.